I'll probably lose followers, but oh well. You ever notice the loudest people talking about you off code are the same ones who don't even follow the code themselves? Yeah, I said it. Because 9 times out of 10, when someone throws that phrase around, it ain't about Neely Fuller Jr.'s code. It's about silencing independent thought. Now let's clear the air right now. The only man who ever created something called the code was Neely Fuller Jr. Not Tariq Nasheed, not Jason Black, not some random YouTube race baiter. Neely Fuller Jr. And Neely Fuller never called it the Black Code. He called it the United Independent Compensatory Code System and Concept. Now, that's a long title, but let's break down what it means. United means we don't mistreat each other. Independent means you don't need some leader holding your hand or yelling orders at you. You're responsible for yourself. And compensatory means it's a counter strategy, a survival plan against a system of white supremacy. So right there, we already caught folks lying. Because Neely Fuller never gave you permission to run around Twitter telling people they off code. That's not how it works. The code is individual. That means every black person is supposed to ask one question. Is what I'm doing constructive or is it non-constructive? That's it. No hashtags, no internet patrol squads, and no fake code enforcers. And let me drop the first receipt. Neely Fuller said if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is, how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. And what do we see today? Confused people yelling off code at the wrong shit. Confused people thinking racism is just some white folks don't like us. Confused people who can't even break down how racism controls economics, education, politics, or entertainment. Only how they feel. But they'll swear up and down that you off code for not agreeing with their gossip. That's not the code. That's confusion with a microphone. Now, Neely Fuller gave us another simple rule. The code is about constructive versus non-constructive behavior. So let's test the waters. Arguing about rap beefs. Non-constructive. Making fun of Africans and Caribbeans all day. Non-constructive. Defending toxic music that glorifies killing us. Non-constructive. Idolizing social media personalities while ignoring the 9 areas of racism. Definitely non-constructive. Meanwhile, telling the truth, even if it hurts feelings, that is constructive. Calling out dysfunction so that it can't spread, that's constructive. Separating yourself from lies, that's also constructive. By Neely Fuller's logic, the very people calling you off code are usually the first ones off code. Here's another receipt. Neely Fuller said the purpose of the code is to produce justice. And he defined justice as 2 things. 1, nobody gets mistreated. 2, the person who needs the most help gets the most help. So answer me this. When you jump online and you call a black man a coon, a tether, or a sellout just for thinking independently, are you producing justice or are you mistreating him? Because Neely Fuller would call that mistreatment. Plain and simple. And oh, don't let me forget this one. Neely Fuller warned us also to stop worshiping personalities. He said don't put your whole life in the hands of one leader or one celebrity. Yet what do we see online? Folks treating Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, and a few others like they're gods of the code. People worshiping platforms instead of principles. Neely Fuller said don't do that. If you're idolizing personalities, you already off code. But let's pause right here because I can already hear the critics. But bro, we need to stick together. We need unity. Yeah, I'm all for unity. But Neely Fuller said it best. There is no unity without constructive behavior. Fake unity that protects dysfunction is not unity, it's suicide. If your unity requires me to lie, stay silent, or worship some personality, then you can keep it. That's not the code, that's cult behavior. And then one of the coldest receipts that Neely Fuller ever dropped was this. He said every black person should be a united independent. That means I don't mistreat you and you don't mistreat me. But it also means I don't need your permission to move how I please as long as it's constructive. I don't need approval from the peanut gallery. I don't need some so-called code enforcer with a Twitter account telling me how to breathe. If you trying to control me, you already broke the independence principle. Which means, again, you're the one off code. And lastly, Fuller said this. He said, always tell the truth, even if it hurts feelings. Because the truth, it is constructive, even when it cuts. And lies, even pretty ones, are always non-constructive. So when I critique toxic culture, when I expose fake leaders, when I say the uncomfortable things the so-called community doesn't want to hear, I'm actually on code. Meanwhile, the same ones trying to shut me down for the sake of unity, yeah, they're off code. So let's close this right here. The next time somebody tells me I'm off code for any fucked up reason whatsoever, I'll just smile at them and tell them the truth. No, I follow Neely Fuller Jr.'s code. You follow YouTube and Twitter's code. And that's the difference. Because the real code is not about your feelings, it's not about race loyalty, and it's not about some cult leader. The real code is about logic, truth, and constructive survival. And until you live that, you got no business calling anybody else off code.